Welcome back, deep divers. Ready to plunge into a topic that's, well, a little less glamorous than our usual fare, but honestly, super important for any business, really, especially if you're in security. We're talking about employee turnover.
Yeah, the costs of employee turnover. Most folks, they only see the surface, right? The immediate cost of replacing someone. But there's this whole chain reaction, kind of like a ripple effect that can really hit a company hard, financially, sure, but also the reputation and even, get this, the safety of their clients.
Okay, so we need to go deep on this. And luckily, we've got this fantastic article from El Dorado Insurance. Let me get the title here. The Hidden Costs of Turnover, How Employee Retention Reduces Risk for Security Firms. Definitely sounds like they're not pulling any punches.
Nope, they jump right into the numbers.
Yeah, they do. And right off the bat, they hit us with this stat about how much it costs to replace, get this, a security guard. Like just one. Recruitment fees alone, we're talking $11,000.
Up to $11,000. That figure comes from Defensify training. And that's just the start. I mean, think about it. Background checks, the time it takes to go through applications. Then there's all the training to get them up to speed. You know, all that adds up even before they clock in for their first shift.
Okay, yeah, I'm starting to see how the costs can get out of control. But you said that's just the start. Like, what else are we missing here? What's lurking beneath the surface?
Well, put yourself in the client's shoes. Imagine you've hired a security firm, to protect your business, keep things safe. You've got this guard you've worked with for a while. You know their routines, you trust them. But suddenly, bam, there's a new face every week. What does that do to your confidence in that firm?
Honestly.
Yeah.
I'd be worried. Like, what's going on over there? Are they having problems? Maybe cutting corners? It wouldn't exactly inspire trust, that's for sure.
Right. That loss of trust, that's huge. Especially for security companies, it's their bread and butter, right? Clients need to feel confident, like rock solid confident, that they're getting consistent, reliable protection.
Makes sense. The article even mentioned a case where a client, they got really concerned because they kept seeing new guards at their site. They felt like, I don't know, like they weren't a priority anymore and started questioning if the firm was even stable. Really highlights the human element here.
Big time. We tend to think security is all about tech, procedures, that sort of thing. But it's people. Clients need to feel like they're in good hands, that the guards, that they're experienced and actually care.
Got it. So we've got the financial hit, the trust issue. Anything else this article digs up?
This is where it gets juicy. This is where security firms, they face this unique problem. See, high turnover doesn't just ding their image. It can actually mess with the quality of their service, and that increases risk for everyone involved.
Okay, now you've got my attention. How does that work?
All right, picture this. New guard on the job, still learning the ropes, right? They might not know the client's specific procedures, what to do in an emergency. Heck, they might not even know the layout of the place.
And if something happens, a real high-pressure situation, that lack of knowledge could lead to, mistakes. And in security, those mistakes can be serious.
Exactly. It's not like messing up a coffee order.
Right.
We're talking about people's safety, maybe even legal trouble for the firm. And the article, it connects the dots very clearly. High turnover, increased error rates. That's a huge red flag for anyone hiring security.
Yeah. Before we continue, remember to subscribe to stay informed.
It's like dominoes, One falls, the next one goes down. High turnover means less experienced guards, more likely to make mistakes, and boom, everyone's risk goes up. The firm, the client, everyone.
Man, I never thought about it like that. Makes a lot of sense, though. So, okay, big problem, high turnover. What can these security firms do about it? How do you stop the dominoes from falling?
Well, the article, it's not all doom and gloom, thankfully. It's got some solutions, a few strategies security companies can try to, keep their people around. And it all starts with, figuring out what makes security guards tick. What do they want?
All right, let's get into it. What's step one? Where do they start?
Competitive compensation. That's a big one. But it's not just about a decent salary, It's about benefits that actually matter to security folks. Stuff that fits their world.
Like what? Can you give us some examples?
Sure. Think about the risks these guys and gals face every day. Hazard pay, for instance. Extra cash. Because, hey, the job can be dangerous. That shows you get it, you value what they do.
Right, it's not just about the money itself. It's that recognition, like you said.
Exactly. Another thing, mental health resources. This job, it can be incredibly stressful. Dealing with tough situations, crazy hours, can really mess with you. So offering counseling, those employee assistance programs, it shows you care about their well-being, the whole picture.
It's recognizing that they're putting themselves out there, right? Body and mind. They deserve support that goes beyond just the paycheck.
100%. But yeah, competitive pay, that's just one piece. The article also talks about professional development, training. Gotta invest in that.
We touched on the training gap, but what kind of training are we talking about specifically?
It's more than just, how to use a radio or walk around a building. It's giving them skills they can use to move up. Conflict resolution, maybe. Courses on the latest security tech. Even leadership training. It makes them more valuable, to the company and to themselves.
So they're not just stuck. They can see a future, a reason to stay.
Exactly. And speaking of not being stuck, that's where career paths come in. Another big point in the article.
Okay, so training's great, but you got to show them how that training can lead to, like, promotions, new roles within the company.
That's it. Security work, it shouldn't be a dead end. Give them a chance to specialize, maybe become a supervisor, even management down the line. That keeps people motivated.
Makes sense. So we've got pay, training, and career paths. Anything else these firms can do to, attract and keep the good people?
Now we're back to the human stuff. Building a good culture, a supportive one, where employees feel appreciated, respected.
Sounds nice, but what does that actually look like,
Yeah.
How do you do that?
Communication is huge, open and honest. Management's got to be approachable, listen to concerns, and recognize achievements, even the small wins. That goes a long way.
So it's a place where people can speak their minds, they feel heard, and like their work matters.
Exactly. That feeling of like being a team, that's crucial, especially in security where things can get stressful, even dangerous. You got to know you've got people watching your back.
It's about belonging, right? Being part of something.
Yeah.
Not just a number on a spreadsheet.
Yeah, that's it. And finally, the article talks about prioritizing employee well-being. Makes sense, right? Stressful industry.
We talked about mental health, but what else falls under that?
Lots of stuff. Regular safety training, making sure they've got the right equipment, the proper gear, having clear plans in place for when things go south,
Going above and beyond the minimum, basically. Being proactive about their safety.
Right, and recognizing that these guys often work crazy hours, nights, weekends, holidays. So offering flexible schedules, time off, things that help them have a life outside of work, that can make a big difference.
Showing them respect for their time, their life outside the job.
That's it. Now, we've covered a lot, but the thing is, all these strategies, they kind of work together. You can't just pick one and expect miracles.
Got to look at the whole picture. Create an environment that truly supports people, values them.
Exactly. It's about more than just working for a security firm, It's like they're part of something bigger, something that matters.
I like that. Now I'm curious, how does this actually work in the real world? Does it really make a difference?
Well, good news. The article has this case study, Brick Wall Security Agency. They did a study, found a direct link between job satisfaction and, get this, people not wanting to quit.
Seems obvious, but what made those guards happy? What were the ingredients?
Both kinds of factors. Intrinsic and extrinsic, they call it. Intrinsic is stuff that comes from within, feeling like your work has a purpose, that you're making a difference.
Not just the paycheck, but the feeling that you matter.
Right. Extrinsic, that's more the tangible stuff. Salary, benefits, the work environment itself, both matter, but how much depends on the person, their situation.
And this is where it gets really interesting. The article says younger employees, especially the newer ones, they were more likely to be thinking about leaving. What's that telling us?
One size doesn't fit all, basically. You gotta tailor your strategy, Different folks, different needs.
So how do you do that? What works for a younger guard versus someone who's been doing this for years?
For the younger ones, often they're just starting out, right? They want to move up fast, learn new stuff.
Ambition, they want to see a future, not just a steady paycheck.
Exactly. Challenge them, give them training, let them shadow the veterans, keep them engaged.
Got it. Now what about the veterans, the guys who've seen it all?
They need to feel respected, valued for their experience. Give them leadership roles, mentoring opportunities. Maybe they can specialize in something.
Show them their experience matters. They're still vital to the team.
Right, and as the industry changes, more women are coming in. You got to consider their needs too.
Important point. What are some of the challenges they face? How do you adjust for that?
Well, studies show they often run into bias, stereotypes. Maybe they have different concerns about safety, work-life balance. You need a culture that's truly inclusive, supportive of everyone.
So maybe flexible schedules, childcare help, addressing any safety concerns specifically.
It's about recognizing that different people have different needs and finding ways to meet them.
I think that's a great takeaway from all this. Employee retention, it's not just about throwing money around. It's about understanding your people, knowing what makes them tick, creating a place where they feel appreciated.
It's about investing in them as people. And when you do that, you get so much more than just lower turnover.
Stronger teams, better service, better reputation. Everyone wins.
Absolutely.
Now, before we wrap up, I want to hear from you, the listeners. What are some creative ways to create that engagement? Let us know in the comments.
We love hearing your ideas. Always learning.
All right, so to sum it all up, employee retention, it's not just an HR thing. It's crucial for any security firm that wants to succeed.
It's recognizing that your employees, they're your biggest asset.
And taking care of them means taking care of your business in the long run.
And ignoring it. Well, we saw what happens. Costly, risky, and it just makes your whole operation weaker.
So if you're running a security company, take this seriously.
Make keeping your people happy a top priority.
Create a workplace where they thrive.
Because ultimately, it's not just about protecting stuff.
It's about protecting the people who protect that stuff.
And that's what makes all the difference.
You know, what really stood out to me reading this article, it's how much they focus on the human side of things.
Right. It's not just about, like, robots following a program. These are people. They have needs, their own reasons for doing what they do.
Exactly. And that kind of leads to our final thought here. We've talked about reducing turnover, but maybe the real goal is, I don't know, engagement, where people want to stay, not just because they have to.
I love that. It's about going beyond just the basics, right? Creating a place where they feel connected to what the company's doing, like they're part of something bigger.
Pride in their work. They show up because they believe in it, not just for the paycheck.
And when you have that, well, think about it. Performance goes up, morale's better, the team is stronger, everybody benefits, the clients too, they get better service.
Win-win all around. Okay, we've given you a lot to chew on today, but now we want to hear from you. What are some, creative ways security firms can build that kind of engagement? Hit us up in the comments.
Yeah, we're always open to new ideas.
And hey, whether you're in security, own a business, or just find this stuff interesting, remember, employee retention, it matters. For everyone.
A stable workforce, skilled and motivated, that makes us all safer.
Hey, before we continue, remember to subscribe to stay informed. Well, that's about it for this deep dive. Hope you found it useful, got you thinking.
If you're enjoying this podcast, make sure to subscribe. Thanks once again, and we'll see you soon.